A very good evening to you. You are watching the Hot Seat on TV1. For the past 2 weeks, we have been in discussion with prominent members of the joint opposition with regard to the situation of our country. We thought this week we'll get someone from the United National Party. Who do we have tonight? But before that, I'm going to tell you, the Prime Minister is abroad at present. He is in Australia talking to the Australian Prime Minister. We are yet to find out what is happening there. The economic situation in the country seems to be in somewhat of an unstable situation. The political situation in the country seems to be somewhat in an unstable situation. We are going to talk to parliamentarian from the United National Party, Dr. Kavinda Jayawardena, with regard to what is happening in the country at present. Very good evening to you, Doctor.
Good evening, Chaturanga.
Let me first of all ask you, are you happy to be living in this country at present?
First of all, Chaturanga, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and be a part of your program. Yes, I am very much happy to live live in this country. There are reasons why I am happy, because this is my motherland, and as a youth, as a Sri Lankan, I am very proud to be a part of this nation. So yes, I am happy.
Dr. Jayawardena, when it comes to the political situation of our country, lots of people have lots of views. Politics is a vast subject. Anyone can have any views. But what is interesting to see is that there seems to be some sort of something happening in Parliament, some heat, like when it was in the previous times. We, even in the media, even people from outside, feel that there is something happening. Do you think so?
Chaturanga, the first most important thing is, right now we have established democracy of this country. So therefore, most of the members of the parliament have the right to talk, they have the freedom to talk, and they are freely expressing their views. Even if you see now, most of our government MPs and ministers, they express their views in different ways. So sometimes a lot of people who's watching the parliament and the political arena from outside would think this government is not stable enough, political situation is not very much stable, there is a lot of uncertainty. But I would like to say, the reason why what we see is and what we hear is because of the reason that we have established democracy. Before, during Mahinda Rajapaksa's era, especially during last 10 years, most of the MPs and the members of parliament, especially even being in the government at that time, did not have the ability and the democracy to come out and tell what is their own opinion. Even current president, His Excellency the President Maithripala Sirisena, when he came out of the former government, he very clearly said that I did not have the freedom to take decisions in behalf of my ministry. There were superiors above me who took decisions in my ministry. So that kind of a political situation was there. But now the political situation has changed. You being a journalist, another person being a government servant, you know, we all experience the democracy of this country.
But has that become a problem to the government? People coming forward with various views, has that become a problem to the government?
No, this is what we wanted. This is what we wanted. This is what we signed for. You know, good governance around the world. Now you see the sustainable development goals. One of the thing is good governance, right? So we have promised the people that we will deliver good governance, and here we are. Now the Right to Information Act has been passed. Now people are going and asking a lot of information. I heard one of the ministers have gone to the Transparency Authority and asking for various questions. So I think this is what we wanted. This is what the government, not only the government, the people of Sri Lanka wanted. So we have established that.
Same problem can go both ways, Dr. Jayawardena. Someone can say people from your party, the United National Party, is trying to suppress the actions of the Auditor General. That is a violation of good governance. Don't you think so?
This is not something that you can point finger to the government or to a minister of the government, right? Everyone can have their opinion. Now, we are not arguing on the Auditor General's credibility or his decisions, right? What we are saying, before, hypothetically speaking, before, if a minister or a opposition member criticize the government, what will happen to him? Everyone will target him who is in the government, who is supporting the current leader, and will attack that person. But right now it's not that. Right now we have a different set of a new political culture that we have introduced to the country. We all are getting adjusted to that. So it's new. So when you introduce something new to the country, it's always difficult to get adjusted and get get into the network and the system.
Is this new system good for the country? We will talk to Dr. Jayawardena in a short while. Stay with us. You're watching The Hot Seat. Welcome back. You are watching The Hot Seat on TV1. We were in discussion with Dr. Kavinda Jayawardena, UNP parliamentarian. He's saying that when a new system is being introduced, there can be problems.
By getting used to the problem, to the system.
By when you're getting used to the new system, there can be problems. Now, Dr. Jayawardena, there are allegations to you from the joint opposition or from the opposition in the parliament that the government is not putting anything new on the table. The government is going behind everything. The UNP government, every time it comes, what happens is property of the country is being sold. That is the allegation. That is the main allegation at present. What do you have to say? You're the chairman of the National Youth Front as well. You represent the youth. You represent us. What do you have to say?
Chaturanga, what have we sold? That's the first question. Second thing is, now why are they complaining about how we are handling the current economical situation of this country? For past 10 years, they were in the power. Where they have brought this country? Where they have brought this country when we gave Mahinda Rajapaksa in 2005 the country, one person was at the depth of 133,000 rupees. Right now 500,000 rupees, one person of this country is debt to the world. That as a whole, over 9,000 billion, right, 9 trillion we have to pay to the world, the debt and the interest and everything else, right? As example, the Sri Lankan Airlines in 2014 for 1 year, we were losing 33,000 million, right? And most of the projects, this is a thing that we have been telling throughout. Most of the projects that they did, as example, taking Hambantota Port, Hambantota Airport, Conventional Center, the Lotus Tower, right? The Army Headquarters. Have we till this day, have we made revenue out of it?
But
right?
Dr. Jayawardena, the Mattala Airport, you all are using it while the BIA or the Bandaranaike International Airport is being renovated. You are taking use of the projects that were carried out by the former president. Yet you accuse
for how many months? For how many months? By April, the runway renovation will be over. We are using it during the night, right? As example, the UK airport, right, is shut from night 11 o'clock till next day morning, daily. It doesn't mean that you can't handle the capacity. Anyways, BIA is under capacity, over capacity, I'm sorry, right? We only can do 5 million per year. We are doing 8 million. By 2020, we will reach 15 million. Right? What they have done, they would have invested in BIA instead, right? So with the second terminal coming with JICA funded, it will be already 15 million passengers that we can handle per year. By 2020, we are reaching again the threshold level, right? So we have to go for the third terminal. How to go for the third terminal? We don't have space, right? So we have to acquire the land and we have to do a huge task in order to take over this airport and upgrade it, right? So instead of doing that, we could have had another second runway, right, at BIA itself.
Yeah.
right? So these are the things. Unwantedly you go and invest in things without doing a research, business research, feasible report, nothing, right? And then they are the one who sold out 18,000 acres to foreign companies. We haven't sold any.
What's happening to the 15,000 acres that is
Are we selling it off?
Leasing it out for 99 years, Dr. Jayawardhan?
Then what happened to the golf face green? What happened to the army headquarters? What happened to the port city here? That was given to the Chinese. So this is a question with two policies. MR's regime and the current joint opposition are at two different policies. So what if now tomorrow if they come to power, are they going to lease it? Are they going to hand it over to the Chinese, or are they going to keep it to themselves?
So according to what you're saying, the United National Party has a clear economic policy. That's what you're saying.
Certainly, yes.
And why is it that the people outside or people in the media or even the joint opposition cannot see this clear economic policy that you see from the United National Party, and that why can't we see it?
My friend Chaturanga, what is the opposition's duty? Their duty to oppose, right?
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but this is what they're doing. They are opposing all the time.
But that is the democracy that you were talking about.
When Right to Information Act came, were they being supportive? No, they were not. When we were implementing the independent commissions, were they being supportive? No. When we brought 19th Amendment to the Parliament, is it good or bad? Were they supportive? No. So sadly we have opposition who is opposing for good and bad. Now they are protesting in the roads and pasting posters saying that release Vimal Veeravansa, who is being accused misusing government funding, government property, having two identity cards, two passports. So this is a funny story, Chaturanga. What if you had it, right? Will they allow you to go? Can you bypass the law by getting into the roads?
You bring this conversation to an interesting point. Now we will talk about the arrest of MP Vimal Veeravansa. There are people at present who are maybe in the parliament, maybe outside parliament, who have more corruption charges against them. Government promised transparency, government promised the abolition of corruption, government did the election promises, said that they were going to end corruption and take the money from the previous regime's corruption and put it into the system again. But only people like Vimal Veeravansa, small fish in your own language, is being arrested.
You consider Honorable Member Vimal Veeravansa is a small fish?
I'm not pointing the finger at anyone here. I'm just using your words to say what you have said.
Yeah, he's no small fish. He was a cabinet minister. How can we call him a small fish? He has been appointed by the people from Colombo district. He is liable to the country and he is answerable to the country. So we can't consider him as a small fish, right? So any politician or anyone who have done something against the law and order of this country has to face the law and order and go front of the courts of this country, right? So even when we implemented FCI, what do you call it?
Financial Crimes Investigation Division.
Right? What happened? They were protesting, saying that close it down. Why did they want us to close it down? Because they knew we were going to investigate on it. Right? This is not an easy task, Chaturanga, for us to go and investigate and submit all the documents to the Attorney General's department overnight. It takes time because these police officers, these officers are not trained to identify and investigate on these kind of crimes. We were not being trained for that, right? So we have started that task and we are doing it, and it has been so far very successful, and that is why joint opposition and most of them are protesting against this government. That's why they want this government to be toppled, and they want to do the same thing what they have been doing for 10 years, looting this country. So I think the people of this country have have a lot of faith in this government, and they know that we can make the change, we can do what we promise for this country, and the people are with us. So I'm hoping that by 2020, this country's economy, social and other developments will be in a better place.
Dr. Jayawardena says that the people of this country know that the government can create the change. How long has it been since the government came into power? We will be in discussion even after this short break. Stay with us. You're watching The Hot Seat. Very good evening. You're with Hot Seat once again. We are in discussion with Dr. Kavindra Jayawardena, the chairman of the National Youth Front, and also UNP parliamentarian from the Gampa district. Now, Doctor, we were in an interesting point in our conversation when we went for the break. You said that the people still have the trust in the government. It has been how long? Almost 2 years since the government came into power. Yet you say that the people have trust and the people are waiting. When will we see actual concrete things carried out by this government? Is that happening at present?
It's happening at the present. Now, most important thing was Chaturanga, the government, the former government, lost a lot of things. As an example, the export fisheries product to Europe, GSP plus. Likewise, there were a lot of things that what we had, we lost it all. Exporting fish and seafood products alone, per year we made around 28 billion for the country, right? And GSP plus, losing GSP plus, over 7,000 products to Europe alone, we lost it all. And out of that, 45% was sent to Europe, and most of it were textile. And not only that, we sent it to Europe, we sent even products to USA. So over 8,000 youth were working in factories and working in factories related to exports. All of them lost their jobs. Most of them end up going to Middle Eastern countries, right? So now we have established the international community and international, especially foreign policies, and most of these countries are now willing to work with Sri Lanka. Before, it was not that. So likewise, now we are trying to tie up with India, we are trying to tie up with China, we are trying to tie up with Singapore and Malaysia, even Korea. So all these countries, we need these countries to grow as a nation. You take Singapore, it's a multi-ethnic country with a lot of other countries supporting them. So that's why they have got where they are. So that is the same strategy what this country needs. We have a very educated society. 70% of our country is literate, right? So we are not taking use of these people, right? Now we have brought in this ambulance service to Sri Lanka, right? When we brought this ambulance service to Sri Lanka, free ambulance service, what did the opposition say? They said that the Indian row is coming. Indian drivers are going to drive these ambulance. Indian nurses are going to treat these patients. But right now, over 8 million people are benefiting out of it. So, I mean, this is what we have to do for the country. You know, we have to get out of the box and think out of the box. So, right now the government, as an example, have put the country at its place, and we have strategized how to take this country forward. We need a national policy for education, for health, and for economy, right? And even now reconciliation, right? The trust between ethnic groups, religious groups, there are no conflicts. There were conflicts before. You know, for political reasons, for former regime to be in power, they were creating a lot of ethnical and religious differences. So we have differentiated all of that, and now we have got everyone together as a united country, and we are doing everything to develop this country.
With time running out, Dr. Jayawardena, let's focus a bit about you personally in Parliament. Now, we know that you came in from the Gampa district, very powerful youth, young MP coming in, young parliamentarian from the United National Party. There is talk of cabinet reshuffles happening now. You seem very interested about the civil aviation sector of our country, or the aviation sector. Maybe you will also receive a ministerial or a deputy ministerial portfolio.
I think, Chaturanga, thank you very much, but I am very happy with the position that I have got, Honorable Prime Minister have given me a huge task, huge responsibility, that is to take care of and lead the youth of this country. So as the chairman of National Youth Front, we are doing a lot of work to build the youth of this country to become the leaders of future. So that is my task, and I am more than happy to do that. Rather than taking another portfolio, we have to do our duty for this country. I think these positions are namesake, but if we do our part, our duty right, I mean, people will recognize us and this country will prosper. We can be a developed nation eventually one fine day, and we want to see that dream come true. So rather than getting a ministerial post, I would love to work for my people being a member of parliament.
Dr. Jayawardena, I think the final question before we go, we see a lot of protests or unhappiness within your electorate as well. We see a number of other ministers, other powerful UNP ministers coming into your electorate and doing various things, getting the attention of the media, getting the attention of the people. But at all of these instances, you have been silent.
I haven't been silent, Chaturanga. To be honest, we have been working in order to different reasons. Now they are planning to bring garbage to Jail. I have wrote to President, His Excellency, Prime Minister, His Eminence, the Cardinal, and I have had several meetings, and we sometimes don't go to the protest and protest against the government, but we fight with the people, and we don't want to create more problems. So I have fought with the people, and I'm fighting. Even this coming Friday I have another meeting. So there are other reasons. Sometimes some people try to, out of publicity, go and create this kind of events. But whatever said and done, I have been with the people, we have been working with the people. This garbage issue, since you brought it up, Sri Lanka, we have seen garbage as a problem, but most of the countries, they consider garbage as a byproduct which we can use for utilizing for power generation or anything else, recycling, but whereas we are trying to dump garbage from here to there, pillar to post. So I've been asking from the government, and I'm pressurizing the government as well as the authorities to consider recycling, but please don't bring the garbage to Jaila, because the people of Jaila will also face the same thing what Meetotamulla and elsewhere would face. So and there are a lot of land fillings going on, right? There is no proper system to do all these things. So I think we have to implement law and order in the right way. So I hope that eventually government will fall in that case to the right place and right track, and we will be able to sort these problems within a group, within the group, and face these problems.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jayawardena, for being here with us on the Hot Seat Studios. Amidst your busy schedule, we are told that you have come from overseas tour for an official matter as well. So thank you very much once again for being here. We hope to see you soon again.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you. That's it from the Hot Seat this week. We will be joining you next week as well with an interesting guest like Dr. Jayawardena. We will be discussing about the political situation in the country in the days to come. Thank you very much. I am Chaturanga Apawarachi. Take care.